Hey friends and fellow gamers, DM Scotty here. Great to have you with me. Do I have something cool to show you guys today? I am going to show you Terrain Crate, right? This is so cool. We have partnered with Mantic Games to show you guys this awesome package called Terrain Crate, right? And it's a bunch of terrain that they're releasing for 28mm dungeons. So right up our alley. And we were so happy and privileged to get to show you guys this stuff because we know how much you love it as much as we do, right? So one great thing about the package is the stuff is kind of pre-colored, so you could actually use it right out of the box. But you know, of course, we're crafters, so we're going to paint it up. And it takes paint beautifully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to my table, show you some of the stuff painted up. I'm painted up. And then we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you an adventure that I create utilizing the cool terrain in this box. So let's hit my table, and I'll show you how great this stuff looks with paint.
All right, friends, let's crack this terrain crate open. Wow, here we go. All right. Nice trays to hold all the terrain in. Cool. And we got a bag here with a bunch of little bits in it. So awesome stuff. And it's colored, so it has some of it's gold, some of it's brown, some of it's gray. That kind of matches the terrain type, but we're going to definitely paint this stuff. These pieces are kind of like a rubbery plastic, and I like to spray these with soap, just soap and water, and then scrub them off to get any kind of mold release that might be left on the model. I'll just wash those off and they'll be ready for painting. After everything was dry, I just directly painted on the pieces. I didn't prime them or anything. They take paint really well, so you don't have to prime these. But I did paint them kind of a base color, so I painted them the dark brown for the wood, and the gray I painted, you know, a dark gray and that kind of thing. So here's some furniture I did, and I just painted it, you know, with the dark brown first, and then used a tan on that. And then for the kind of older stuff that might be exposed to the weather and that kind of thing, I used kind of a mushroom color, like an old mushroom color, that gave it kind of a worn look color, and a little bit of a brush with a light gray, and that gives it kind of a worn look also. And the basic wood stuff I just washed with a black and brown wash, a homemade wash with a little bit of soap in it. Flows in all the cracks and really brings out the detail on these great pieces. Some of the terrain had different types of material on it. For example, this ladder, I wanted to do the rope, so I used a light brown on that. And this really cool Iron Maiden here, I used this kind of color shift bronze black color, gave a really neat effect. And then for this rack here, I used the gunmetal and just picked out the different areas, the ropes, you know, going around the rods that pull the poor person apart and that kind of thing. So fun stuff. And here we are. I painted that, washed everything with my dark brown wash, and you can see all those details really popping out there. The set also has some cool deceased. It has a desiccated skeleton and a mummy, so really cool. So I just painted those white with an off-white, and hit them with a kind of a light brown that gives the age out in these. And then after that, I hit them with a dark brown wash, and that really brings out those details in the pieces. A couple of odd pieces in the set here. I had this really cool chair, so I did a kind of a burgundy cranberry for the upholstery on the chair. Really neat. I really love the detail on the chair. And there's a water font, and I use this color shifting blue paint to kind of give a metallic sheen to the water, so it'd be like a magical font. The set also includes some cool dungeon features like traps and rubble, and you can just paint these up like you would for your standard stone, whatever color stone you use. You know, you can use like a gray and stipple it with a light gray with a sponge, and then, you know, fill in the other details as needed with other colors like, you know, the trap door or, you know, the spikes and that kind of thing. And then I just hit them like I did with the dark brown wash, and really brings out the details on these cool little pieces that you can spring on your players when they step on these traps.
Hey guys, I want to interrupt a moment before we move on to the adventure part, right? Now, a big question I get is, how do you find time to do all these crafts, right? You know, we're making terrain, we're making tiles, we're making terrain, we're making little things for our dungeons, and this box could go a long way to helping you do that, right? You know, a lot of people don't have the time, they have families, full work schedules, that kind of thing, and this is a huge time saver for that kind of stuff, because there's so many cool things in it, such a variety. You can even get more things on their site site, so check out their site. But yeah, you can utilize this so easily in your games. And like I say, you wouldn't even have to paint it. It's kind of base colored, you know, with the particular colors, like, you know, tables are brown and treasure piles are gold and that kind of thing. So if you had to in a flash, you could just whip it right out of the box and put it on the table. So that's really great. But you know, of course, you know, us crafters like to paint it, and like I said, it takes paint great. But yeah, so I would definitely check this out if you're someone who, like me, loves to mix and match, you know, crafted stuff with stuff that I buy, with stuff, commercial stuff, right? And this stuff is so wonderful because the sculpts are so great and there's such a variety of stuff. So I really recommend this. So I'm rambling on here, but let's hit my table because we have a special guest star that's going to take us through this adventure, showing off this cool terrain.
Now, I thought it'd be fun to show these off, to take the one and only Roderick the Ranger, our little mascot here at the DM's Craft, and take him through this little adventure using all this terrain crate stuff. And so let's get started, and we'll set Roderick off on his adventure. Hey friends, just a quick word before we jump into the adventure. I'll be showing off my tilescapes, my isometric terrain method, and these are super easy to make. I show you how to in all my tilescape videos. It's just stamping on corkboard, and it gets some really cool results. And these are the tiles I'll be featuring in the adventure with Roderick. Roderick uses his excellent stealth skills to sneak into the guard room. No one is present, but the mugs are half full and the plates are still warm. Someone was just here. He checks the barrels. The barrels are full of alchemist's fire. Evil's afoot. He uses the ladder to sneak back up the stairs to see if anybody's coming. No one is approaching. Roderick finds further evidence of the cult's vile deeds. He finds a torture room filled with torture implements. Then Roderick notices the coffin on the table. Roderick finds some poor wretch, stripped of all his flesh by the mage's evil henchmen. Roderick will have his revenge against these evil wizards. Sneaking around further, Roderick finds the mage's room. It is empty as well. He checks the place out. A mirror whispers to him, but he knows better than to mess with such strange artifacts. He checks the astrolabe in the center of the room. It is set to a certain time and date. Knowing the stars, knowing how to read the stars, Roderick can read this and knows whatever evil they are planning will happen soon. Roderick finds a note on the table detailing a treasure chamber below the castle. He decides to check it out. Roderick makes his way down to the cavern, licking his lips with the thoughts of magical treasure. He makes it to the cavern and sees a wondrous sight. Piles of coins and what looks like magical treasure, more than he could ever carry. But he sees a wonderful sword in a stone, sitting on a pedestal. If only he could secure this wondrous blade. He begins to pull. But unbeknownst to him, the sarcophagi behind him opens. The true owner of the sword crawls out of the sarcophagus. The foul undead leaps on Roderick, trying to strangle the life from him. Roderick's great strength manages to rip the beast free and send it back to the plane of death. After the excitement, Roderick checks the rest of the chamber and finds some healing potions that will come in quite handy on the rest of this adventure. Scooping up as much treasure as he can carry and setting the alchemist's fire to blow, Roderick makes his way from the castle. That's when Roderick encounters his first trap and leaps back like a cat before the spikes can stick him like a pig. The broken terrain seems to channel him to the next trap, a bear trap that he just barely avoids. With the rumble of the exploding barrels behind him, Roderick rushes through the next arch, just in time to see a blade trap. He leaps it before he loses any toes, or worse yet, feet. He easily avoids the next trap, as he's definitely looking for traps at this point. But just before our brave hero exits, he notices a trap door. What strange adventure could I find down here? Maybe I have time to check it out. One last fun thing, they have this carpet in the set, and it's stiff, right, because it's plastic, and it makes a perfect flying carpet because you can, hold it horizontally and it stays stiff. So that's fantastic. Here we have Roderick escaping the exploding wizard's lair on the magic carpet. So here's another look at it, and pretty cool. I really like the detail. It's a fun carpet. And you could just use it in your dungeons, like here, I have it on my tilescapes here. You could use it like that. And, for flying, I just use these clear plastic cocktail glasses to denote height.
Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed the video featuring Terrain Crate and got to see some cool stuff, right? Also, I want to mention that I'm part of the Tabletop Crafters Guild, right? And we have all done videos featuring Terrain Crate. So something I might have missed, or you might want to see another take on Terrain Crate, check out our other creators in the Tabletop Crafters Guild. So wonderful. Yeah, check out their videos, guys. Also, make sure you go to the Mantic website to pick this stuff up. They have smaller sets, different sets, and all kinds of, you can mix and match. So you can get exactly the type of terrain you want. They're releasing more. They're going to release more of this stuff. So always check back and see what they've got. And guys, go forth and craft. Have fun and have a great time painting up and using this Terrain Crate.